Welcome to Home Video Hangouts. I'm Cody, and today I'm going to be sharing a very special movie with you. We're going to be talking about Crimson Peak, the limited edition Arrow 4K release. I was so excited to pick this up. I've been waiting for this since it released, and I got a good deal on Amazon recently and just wanted to kind of go and do a walkthrough of this one, share all the details about it with you in terms of what's included in this set and whether I think this set is worth it, and then I'll also share with you my thoughts on the actual movie itself as I just watched it the other night. So let's get started. Alright, so starting with this packaging, it has a really nice box right here, which is pretty cool, with a nice design on the front, nice spine, another design on the back there. It opens up kind of like a book here, and you can see we have a creature inside there. Then in here we have a book. So this is a book inside this kind of cardboard enclosure. So we pull out the book, and inside here's the cover right here, we have information about the film. So some pictures in here of the film. We have contents here. The contents say it includes information about cast and crew, Melancholy and the Maiden, notes on Guillermo del Toro's Crimson Peak, A Satellite of Meaning, the production and costume design of Crimson Peak, Ghost Hunter, an interview with Guillermo del Toro, Crimson Peak reviewed, and original conceptual design illustrations and information about the transfer that Arrow did. And in the back here we have a quote, "Love makes monsters of us all." But you can see this book has lots of pictures and information in it, so pretty cool thing to have included with this Arrow release. I like when Arrow includes books and things in their sets, makes it for a more special experience for collectors, so that's a pretty cool part of this. Then in terms of what else is included, we have a poster, which is nice. So it's a double-sided poster with two different designs, and so this is one of the designs included right here. So you can see it has kind of the main character from the movie here, and then we flip it over, and then it has more of a ghost design. It says "Beware Crimson Peak." So small but pretty cool poster that they included. It's another thing I like that Arrow Video, well, not always, but pretty often does, is includes posters. So I like that poster quite a bit. Then we have some art cards, some like cardboard art cards that are included as well. So these are pretty interesting because on one side of the art cards you have a character from the movie in a scene, which I'll go through here. And so that's pretty nice, but then you flip it over and then you see kind of that red and blue design, almost like a ghost version of them or some kind of creature behind them. And so I think that's a pretty cool thing they did with these art cards, and another special thing to have included as a collector in this set. And in addition to that, they have some advertising for their Arrow streaming service. And then in here we have the 4K disc, of course. So that's everything that is included in this box set. I think, in my opinion, whether this box set specifically is worth it in comparison to getting a 4K version of this set another way, I'd say it is worth it. This was a little over $40. I want to say I paid something like $41.99 for that, which is way more than I typically pay for any 4K release. But this is one where I actually hadn't seen this movie before, and I looked at the trailer for this and I was thinking, wow, that looks like it would look really good on 4K. And I know that Arrow does a good job with their 4K releases, and so I decided to give it a chance, get this, and I don't regret it at all. This is one of the most incredible 4K videos I've ever watched on my home theater setup. So let's go and talk about that a little bit more, of what I really enjoyed about the movie itself and this release on 4K specifically. So first, to give my thoughts on the release itself, like what really stood out about this 4K release. So in terms of this specific 4K release, and I'm talking about not just this specific box set that's limited edition with all these extras, but Arrow's recent 4K release of this. What really stood out to me, one, is the visuals. Watching this on my LG C1 OLED TV, there is extreme levels of contrast here. Not really much at all in the way of grain. It's just very vibrant red visuals on a lot of dark backgrounds. You see a lot of contrast, whether you're looking at a scene where like one of the characters has a candle they're holding, and then there's like a dark background in the house they're in, or also if you see the characters outside in front of the white snow, everything's, the snow's really bright and white, and then the character's clothing really pops and stands out. There's a couple scenes I remember in this movie where one of the characters is in like an office and they're writing on a piece of paper, and then you see in the top left of the screen there's little particles of dust just falling down in the light, and you just see every particle of dust. It's really just an incredible 4K release with incredible detail and incredible image quality. And then in addition to that, the sound is really on point as well. So there's, certain scenes in this movie, being as kind of a horror movie, where you'll have a jump scare of, maybe a ghost appears and then makes a loud noise or yells at one of the characters. And those are, really stand out, really loud, vibrant visual, or not visuals, loud, vibrant audio quality there. And I believe this does have an Atmos track. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe this does have Dolby Atmos. Based on how it sounds, I think it must. And so I was just really impressed by the audio quality too. Another thing I thought of too, going back to visuals, is there's certain scenes I really enjoyed in this movie where they had some really close-ups, where they were looking at, I think it was some ants crawling onto a butterfly in one scene, and there's just really close-up visuals there that are in incredibly high quality in 4K, and I think this release really makes those types of scenes stand out. But even just looking at the characters and their costumes that are very bright onto the dark backgrounds looks amazing with the contrast, and seeing the ghost creatures, I think in this movie they have some really incredible special effects for the ghosts that appear in this movie. So all of that was just very, very impressive. And of course, there's a variety of special features and additional content here. I haven't really gone into that myself and looked at that yet, but Arrow always includes a lot of that in their releases, which is special too. And in terms of my thoughts on this movie, just in terms of what I thought about the movie itself, outside of just how it looked and sounded, being this is, I believe, the first time I've watched this movie, I was really impressed by it. I think the setting and the time that this movie took place in history, I think it really stood out to me in that it had a feel that kind of reminded me of something like Titanic, with how the characters talked and acted and dressed in a way. It had kind of that same vibe that I would feel from Titanic, but also was very dark and creepy too. And you can kind of see how the characters have ulterior motives throughout the film. And, in the violent scenes, that there's a few kind of violent scenes in the movie. They really stand out, and they were filmed in a great way. And I just really enjoyed this film all the way through. The special effects and sound and visuals really stand out, but the acting is great here too. The costumes are perfect for this movie. They're just, the way they designed this, where, walking into the Crimson Peak mansion, you see the snow wherever the characters are. There's always that snow just kind of trickling down from the middle of the building from where there's a hole in the roof. Little details like that just really stand out. The red clay they're mentioning is really vibrant and pops, and there are just so many great things about this movie. This has definitely become one of my favorite horror movies. So I recently posted a video where I talked about some of my favorite horror movies, and this one's definitely going to be added to that list. So if you haven't yet watched Crimson Peak in some form, I highly recommend not only watching it, but watching one of the Arrow 4K releases, because it really is incredible. It's the best way to watch this movie, and I can't recommend it enough. All right, so that was my review of Crimson Peak on the Arrow 4K release, and Like I said, I can't recommend this movie enough, but thank you for stopping by and watching my review. And if you'd like to pick up this film for yourself, check out the description below. I'll have it linked to Amazon so you can get a good deal on this awesome Arrow 4K release. And also, if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below to stay updated on the latest videos I have releasing. And check out the video and playlist I have above me here to check out more of my content that you might enjoy. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.